Welcome back to Sophomore Intermediate's ACE Soccer Online Training Program. As you may already know, here you'll find some instructional videos on how to practice and improve some of your soccer skills. Here are some items you may need for the training. Place markers, a soccer ball, and water. You'll also need soccer cleats or athletic shoes, preferably without a flat sole. And if you don't have training cones, you can always use something else, such as an extra pair of shoes, some old balled up socks, or anything you might find lying around. Today we'll be going over the stop and go and the V's. But as usual, let's start off with our warm-ups. Let's do some high knees. Next, we'll do butt kicks. Up next is high kicks. Skipping arm swings. And finally, our sprints. Today's moves are fairly simple, but they do require a lot of practice to perfect. The stop and go is a move used to fool your opponent into thinking you're going to stop or change direction mid-dribble, but then you'll just continue dribbling in the same direction. This is also designed to create some space between you and your opponent. This maneuver is pretty easy to learn, as you'll see later on, but you'll have to be careful when executing it because you'll have to do this as you dribble. If you still need some practice dribbling, you can always check out our dribbling video linked in the description below. The V's are also simple if your dribbling is decent. As the name implies, you'll make a V shape with the ball by faking a pass, then pulling the ball back and pushing it in a different direction. As you can probably tell by now, these moves are designed to fool your opponent into going one way so that you can quickly change direction and go another way. To do the stop and go, you can start by dribbling or pushing the ball forward with your laces or the outside of your dominant foot. For the next part, you'll be using the same dominant foot by immediately placing the inside of your foot in the path of the ball to stop its movement forward, which I call cutting the ball. Try pushing the ball about 4 times before you decide to cut the ball. Now, this cut won't actually be a complete stop because immediately after you cut, you'll use the outside of your dominant foot to push the ball in the same direction you were originally moving. Practice doing this for 1 minute on each foot. This maneuver will cause your opponent to also stop, and as you push the ball quickly, it will allow you to either speed up and beat your opponent or create a bit of space to complete a pass or take a shot on goal. You'll also have to practice this with both feet. I know I always say that, but it's because one thing I feel coaches don't like to hear, especially in higher level soccer like high school and some intermediates, is when players say, "I can't play on that side because that's my weak foot." To be completely honest, you only have a weak foot because you choose not to practice with it, but I digress. The V is an interesting move because it requires 2 skills we've already talked about in previous videos. Like the stop and go, this move requires decent dribbling skills. In addition to dribbling skills, you'll also need to be able to roll the ball, as we talked about in our ball control video, also linked in the description. Here, we'll concentrate more on the actual move rather than the dribbling, but the rollover is a must for this move. We'll start by placing the ball a few inches in front of you. Then fake a pass by swinging your foot toward the ball as if you're going to complete a pass, but instead of striking the ball, you'll use the sole of your foot to slightly roll over the ball. Right after you roll the ball, you'll have to pull the ball back toward yourself and immediately push the ball with the outside of the same dominant foot to quickly change direction. I suggest you begin practicing this move very slowly until you're able to do this fluidly. If you're not able to roll, pull, and push the ball at first, break it down by practicing the roll only, doing it correctly as many times as you can in 1 minute. Then switch feet and do the same. Next, practice rolling and pulling the ball slowly and correctly as many times as you can in 1 minute. And finally, add the push at the end of your move by doing it slowly as many times as you can for 1 minute. As you practice and get the hang of it, then you can increase your speed. That's all for this video. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to leave a comment and stay tuned.